Well, let's start here. This would be a good place. Here we go. Well, we tried something different this year. We put a lot of beautiful coleus in here, different kinds, and some celosa. That's this one here. It gets little red flame flowers on the top. Here's some pestamon that I grew from seed. So it'll be interesting to see how that shapes up as the season goes on. Hydrangeas, both a regular hydrangea and a hardy hydrangea. This one up here is the hardy hydrangea. Are doing really well now that the deer aren't after them every year. Our neighbors cut down some big pine trees today, so it might get a little noisy while I'm doing the video. This is a new plant for us. This is a Rose of Sharon, a columnar version of it. It's supposed to grow quite tall and narrow, like a column. And there's some Lavatera that we tried growing from seed this year in the center of all our pots. Be interesting to see how that takes up shape. And the petunias that are there we did from cuttings. And they're just starting to flower in the last couple of days. The hostas are just so beautiful right now. Look at that for a flower, isn't that amazing? Got some baby sprat that we grew from seed. This is our second year for that hydrangea right there. And that's its first flower. Really pretty. I planted a bunch of small shoots of hostas in this garden and daylilies just to sort of fill some space and cover some ground so we don't have so many weeds to bear. But I soon discovered that I need a lot more, so we'll just keep planting and planting. We're a planting bunch of fools, I guess. These hostas look beautiful. They're just starting to flower now. And this is a Judy Garland rose. God, like that. They start off yellow and then they turn red. And in the distance there is one of Kelly's sunflowers that we grew from seed this year. Got some zinnias in there and some pestamon down in the front in here. There's a beauty bush that we grew from seed. Just transplanted that. These is peonies. Big hydrangea up in the back there about to flower. Daisies, hostas. Yeah. Today I've got to paint the bench. And we planted a bunch of red Lavatera, or lantana I guess, to hide the red strawberries. I don't know if that'll confuse the birds or not, or whether it'll be an issue. Hell, we have two of those. And they're just starting to bring the odd strawberry. It's kind of fun. Today I had some neighbors drop by and Gabe was able to give them a big handful of beets. The beets are just doing great. They're about, they're between 1 inch and 2 inches now. They were started in March. So we're really starting to harvest those. The carrots, Lisa pulled some carrots up. And these beets were ones that went through all winter, and I transplanted them here. And now I'm just letting them grow, flower and go to seed, and these will be my seeds for next year, I hope. Anyhow, that's the plan. Bunch of kale. Lisa planted some new peppers, lettuce, Swiss chard. Oh, I think she planted some spinach in here somewhere. Maybe in there. Some more peppers that we bought. Peas. Joy Choi, that was seeds that were introduced to us from Laura and Rob. That's our second pack of those. They're doing very well. And more kale. We have our first sunflower seed here, flowering. It's nice. And our hydrangeas are just about ready to flower. Phlox, more sunflowers. I've had a little bit of problem with sort of a fungus. I seem to be able to spray and keep that under order. Here's going to be our next sunflower maybe. Daisies. I'm letting the poppies go to seed, drying right on the plant. And I'm going to plant them down by the entrance to our driveway. See if we can get some poppies just growing wild. This is Lisa's favorite daylily, and I can understand why. It has a beautiful flower. It was also struggling with fungus, but it responded really well to the fungicide. And delphiniums. Lisa tells me that's their 5th year. They're just glorious. Different hostas and a beautiful rose. I think this is about our 3rd year since the deers haven't been chomping away. We're really noticing that a lot of the flowers are really coming into their own. We tried to experiment, put a bunch of garlic in there. Just harvested some scapes off of it, which was fun. Built a little lid for our strawberries, and it's hinged so we can lift it up, keep the birds away. I've started a little hosta garden here. Put 4 in, and then I covered it all with nice wood chips. That really keeps the moisture in the ground. I'd like to do this area over here that's kind of junky right now also as a hosta shade garden. It's quite a big area, and that'll be a project. Gotta have a project, right? So today, one of my chores is to pick some peas. And there's lots of them. We just grew these right in the ground, and they've just done fantastic. You know, and even though they're underneath all these trees, there's enough light to come in and allow them to produce fruit. That made me dizzy cruising around. Beets planted from seed, beets planted even earlier, kale, raspberries. This is the 1st year for raspberries, so it'll be next year before we get anything from them. And here's some ginger, believe it or not. Now, it doesn't seem to be looking too healthy, but it's growing. And this is butternut squash, and I've got it growing up this support here. And then I've got 3 of them that hopefully will be able to grow vertical. And I've just tied them up a little bit. They're looking really healthy, and we've had some flowers, and we'll see how that goes. And there's the lids for the gardens downstairs, down in the front yard. Just store them there for the summer. A few little plants there that I'm experimenting with. And I think that's it. It's been a lovely spring, and now it's apparently going to be 41 degrees on the weekend. So we'll be hiding in the house, enjoying the air conditioning, no doubt. It was put in last year. So thanks for coming on this little tour of the garden for the end of June 2021.